I just got back from seeing Wolfman, so let's talk about it. Obviously, it's directed by Lee Winnell, who brought us Upgrade and Invisible Man. So, based on those two movies alone, I was really excited to see what he would do with this. And going into it, I knew that a lot of people weren't really fans of it. So, I kept my expectations not low, but just like at a middle ground, and I just wanted to have fun with it. And I honestly had a pretty good time. By no means do I think it's Lee Winnell's best film, but I honestly thought there was like some pretty cool stuff to chew on here. No pun intended. I really like the idea of like having like this whole werewolf transformation be kind of like a disease that infects you and kind of like makes you like devolve mentally and stuff. And the way that this movie visualizes like things from the werewolf's perspective, I thought was like really neat. And there's obviously been a lot of criticism surrounding the design of the werewolves in this movie. But again, going back to the fact that it's treated more as like a degenerative disease, I thought it worked in that respect. But I think the thing I appreciated most about this movie was I did not expect like the emotional through line with like the family to affect me as much as it did, because I did tear up a few times during this, surprisingly. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm a dad, but the idea of like having this infection and losing like you can't understand like your wife or your kid, you have no idea what they're saying, you can't communicate with them, it's so fucking heartbreaking. And the fact that it focuses more on that as opposed to like focusing on being like a true like I guess werewolf movie, it made it seem more like a drama that involved werewolves, if that makes sense, which I know maybe is not what a lot of people wanted. I personally dug it. Really felt like it was trying to tackle themes of like generational trauma and just like I guess degenerative brain diseases and stuff. At least that's what I took from it. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's just me. So that element was really unexpected too. I just thought that was interesting. I did think Christopher Abbott was really good in it, and Julia Garner as well. I do feel like one of the biggest downsides of this movie though is the pacing. It didn't necessarily feel too rushed to me, but it did feel like the pacing was just it was on the quicker side of things for sure. I do feel like there were a few things that probably could have been fleshed out a little bit more. Maybe like establishing the family a little more at the beginning. Maybe a little bit more with like Christopher Abbott's character and his dad. But regardless, there was still enough there for me to latch onto it as it is. And yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a really interesting take on this kind of story. You can definitely see why people probably don't like it, but it worked for me. I don't know. As I said, it's not perfect, and I don't think it's Lee Winnell's best. The Invisible Man is still up there. That movie's incredible. But I still thought this was a solid time. I thought it did some cool things with the concept. I would probably watch it again. I'd probably buy it on Blu-ray. But yeah, those are my quick thoughts out of the theater. I'd probably give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. Of course, this is all just my opinion, but you guys let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments.